Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to the StarNet AI mod, a mod I've tested out fairly recently, but now we're going to be doing a full playthrough with it. Let's see if it can really make the AI difficult without allowing them to cheat. For those who don't know, when you normally increase the difficulty in Stellaris, all you're doing is allowing the AI to have certain modifiers. You're increasing how much resource they get from everything, you're increasing their navy capacity. Essentially, you're increasing all their stats without actually making them any smarter. It's not changing their behaviour, it's just giving them more for what they normally do, essentially letting them cheat. Whereas the StarNet AI makes them smarter. They can now use the resources properly and they become an actual challenge. So now, when we increase difficulty, which we're also going to do in this video, it's not only they're getting more from what they can get, they're also being a little bit smarter about it. So hopefully, this is going to make the enemy far, far scarier, whilst making the early game a bit fairer for us, because normally with all those cheating modifications, all those cheating bonuses, they essentially become near impossible to kill in the very, very early game, just because they get so much so early from their starter worlds. They can have huge navies straight off the get-go, whereas with this mod, and only a slight bonus for them, we should hopefully be able to attack very early, and that's the whole point of this Empire. An Empire I normally wouldn't like, but I'm hoping the mod will allow me to have loads of fun with it. So this is the Empire, the Galaxy Reformers. This Empire once spanned all of the galaxy. It was the top of the food chain before it was beaten back time and time again by the allied forces of the fallen empires, which now, of course, themselves have fallen into disrepair and of hatred of each other. This empire is so old and was beaten back such a long time ago, they have long since forgotten of its existence, thought just an extinct older empire. But they had one world left, which itself has fallen into disrepair into a relic world, in which after many hundreds, thousands of years, they are now back to reform the galaxy back to its former glory, with us back in the seat of power. The Galaxy Reformers. Fanatic materialist, I mean militarist, I always get that mixed up. We then have authoritarian, we are an imperial empire, we have distinguished admiralty giving us even more fire rate on top of the fact we are fanatic militarists. And then we are barbaric despoilers. Now this means pretty much everyone else will want to try and kill us because everyone hates this civic, but it allows us to have the raiding bombardment straight away, which means we can instantly steal populations from other empires. And it also means we do have the unique way to go to war, essentially trying to pillage them, in which we get some of their energy and some of their minerals if we win. It's not the best thing to do a lot of the time, but it does mean you can always go to war with whoever you wish, which is pretty nice. In my opinion, this is actually a very weak civic. I'd rather just get the Ascension perk, which gives you the raiding and bombardment stance, but this does save you needing that particular perk, which is nice. So it gives you that, and it makes us a bandit kingdom. So this is an empire I would normally not play. If I went with fanatic militarist, or even regular militarist, I would normally be going with devouring swarm or something else, because that's how I like to play the more aggressive empires, just go all or nothing, utter insanity. But I really do think this is an empire which could work, as long as we can be aggressive very early on. There's not much else really to say about the Empire itself. We are going with the Remnants origin, which means we have the Relic World at the start, which isn't really a true Relic World, but does come with ruined archaeologies. When you fix those, you get some minor artifacts back, although it's very expensive to actually clear them at 750 energy and 250 minerals, I think. But then if you do get the maximum amount of artifacts, you do get 2,500 energy worth of artifacts back, which is lovely, and you also get a little chunk of tech towards one of the base early game techs, which is nice. Other than that, there's not really much this brings to the table, except for the fact it looks really awesome, it fits the Empire really well, and one of your very first worlds will actually have its own archaeology, just a single one, and a small bonus to build speed and district build speed, which is nice. It's definitely not one of the strongest origins by a long shot in my opinion. I've played with it a few times, but I do love it thematically. I love how the world looks, and it just fits the Empire so very well. As for the species themselves, they are ingenious, because I'm going to want loads of energy very early on. They are rapid breeders, and they are traditional. Because, well, of course they are. They are harking back to the glory days where they controlled the galaxy. So many hundreds, potentially thousands of generations ago. And that is pretty much that. So, with our warlord leading us to victory, let's begin. I will be having difficulty set to captain, which gives very minor bonuses to the AI. The AI itself, of course, with the mod, should be difficult even without this. In fact, it really was in the test, so this should actually be quite a difficult game, and I'm really hoping to see the AI keep up with us all the way till the very end. If they can do that, then they already beat maximum difficulty vanilla AI, which would be fantastic with Grand Admiral. The crisis strength is set to maximum, and it's set 75 years early. So a very early crisis, very strong, the Empire is going to be very powerful, and with that, let's get started. Hey everyone, as is tradition, Future Lathrix here, just before the video starts properly. As you can probably tell by the title, I have had to sadly split this into two sections, purely because of lack of time. At the moment, there is all sorts of stuff going on for the holidays, and my time is very limited, but I still love doing these full playthroughs. I have already put 35 hours of gameplay into this one video, and about 5 hours of editing already, and I have enjoyed every second of it. The mod is really enjoyable, and I'm definitely going to be using it more in the future, with the early game being especially really fun, and by the end you'll be able to see I have some ideas to make it more interesting in future videos. Now, before we start it properly, as usual, the shilling must begin with these. If you do enjoy the full playthrough format, then of course likes and comments really help out. Sadly, these videos are algorithm poison on YouTube, as is most of my channel at the moment, but I just simply record what I love doing. I love recording and love editing, and this is exactly that. So if you enjoy, a like helps a lot. And with that, and no more shilling, into the video itself. Hope you all enjoy. Time for the AI to be a lot more aggressive than usual. And so we begin, kind of in the middle of the ring, which isn't really where I wanted to end up, but that's absolutely fine. So what is our goal then? Really, it's just pure economy. I'm going to be completely forsaking research, at least in the very early game. So we want the sprawling slums to be fixed up straight away, giving us an extra population. I am going to be scrapping our initial corvette still, which may seem a bit weird since we're going to be focusing on navy so quickly, but this early extra bit of resource is so useful. There we go. That took a while. So with that, we can get going. Now, I really should scout ahead to try and find other empires, but I also really do need as much resource as possible. So I'm going to try and get 3 or 4 research ships, and then once I've got the last one, the final science ship, I should say, will be a scout. That's a shame. I was hoping to get coil guns. Coil guns that early are fantastic, but sure, extra armor, extra unity, and better shields. Okay, we have a lovely precursor here, one I very rarely get. Essentially, this is the psionic precursor. And it's really badly placed. Okay, I've got to rush over there now, otherwise I might actually end up not getting it. That's very annoying. So we have 2 neighbors straight away. Apparently we're kind of in the middle of a cluster, which is really bad for us. You have to build up enough fleet power to make sure they don't attack us. The AI is set to aggressive, and the mod itself makes them more aggressive as well. Okay, so pretty much every minor artifact we are going to be selling. I've got that being sorted out first of all, then that secondly. I don't know where my other world is. Is that my other habitable world? My other guaranteed habitable world? Because it's so far away, I think I'm only going to get one of them. Yep, this is definitely a start where we're going to need to be aggressive, otherwise we're going to be consumed. These over here are already superior to me, and they are fanatic militarist as well. These are equivalent, and they are regular militarists, so it's going to be a fight regardless what happens. They are keeping up with me really well, considering I am selling so many artifacts. I really want to attack them, but I simply can't right now. Annoyingly, it's mostly because they are also militarists. They're doing essentially what I'm doing. They are equivalent to me in tech, so they're clearly not teching up either. We're just at this horrible Cold War stalemate. The problem is, of course, is if I go to war with one of them, the other one's going to attack me, because suddenly I'm going to be weakened. I've got to get more of an advantage. I don't know how is the problem. Okay, we're going to go to war then with our neighbour. Although, technically speaking, we are equivalent to them, I do think we actually have a huge advantage since they were inferior and then only just about got to equivalent again. We have really rushed this fleet, and hopefully we can win. Now, I am making a claim on their homeworld. It's not because I particularly want to win that, but if you don't make a claim like that before you do plunder, they may just give up quite early on, because losing minerals and energy isn't really that much of a big deal, and they do tend to do that quite easily, sometimes when you're still harvesting a planet for its people. I want to be the one who decides when the war is over, so let's go, and hopefully we can very quickly get a brand new, lovely population. Also, I'm rushing over here because this is where our precursor is at the moment, which is really annoying. Okay, no fleets here. So now we have this station, we should really fight in this system. They can go around though, which is a bit annoying, but that's fine. Only got 2 there, so I probably won't stay here for too long. Let's move on. As much as I do want to fight here, I do want to start stealing as soon as we can. If we can get even just one of them... Okay, it's a small fleet. If we can even get just one of them, they like tropical, we have loads of tropical worlds. It means we can finally expand properly. Their fleet must be there then, like right in the center. Okay, that survey is done. Let's... You know, I'm just going to jump and grab that straight away. I'm tempted just to go straight for the homeworld. Oh, this might be really, really stupid. A system survey has concluded. How are they equivalent to us? Unless their fleet's somewhere else. 4,000 energy, thank you very much. Yeah, they're done for. How are you equivalent fleet power? Begin the bombardment of their homeworld. A study has been completed. Well, if we don't kill them, we're going to make them far, far weaker. That was really easy. Instantly declaring rivalry there. To be fair, we did have a really good start and we got to sell a lot of stuff, so it's not surprising we had such a good start here, but still. There's our first population stolen, so straight away we can start making some new colonies. With the Chim, as they're called. Okay, so there's some of their fleet. There's a 500 now appearing out of nowhere, so total they had about 700 to begin with. They're going to weaken themselves so much against that station, they can't really get past, so sure. Lovely. Our numbers are already being bolstered. I'll have to move them, though, away from the frozen world if they're being moved there. Yeah, because habitability 20%. Don't want to spend that much consumer goods on keeping them alive there, honestly. Okay, the Combine is there. That's 1,000 fleet power. Okay, now we have to intervene. Make a dash for that. As much as I would rather just sit here and keep on stealing, if we can take out their fleet, then it's all pretty much over. And while they're fighting that is the perfect time. Well, at least they're weakened. Okay, take that back, then go back to bombarding. You know what, let's bombard their side world instead. You never know, we might end up with their world if they surrender. I doubt they will, but they could. I mean, we are hurting them a lot. They're also hurting us, though, to be fair. Wait. Okay, that's odd. I've abducted every population. How did that work? So the reason why that's weird is because will not abduct or kill the last population, but I just... Oh, I know what it is. This world had pre-sapients on. I think they may have counted. So it technically didn't steal the last. By the way, we just killed their planet. Whoops. I'm actually going to try and take over their homeworld. I have some ground forces on the way now, which are, by the way, their own species. These are Chim, just like they are. And they're going to show them just how much better off they are on our side. I mean, actually they are. I mean, they have full citizenship, they have all the same rights as us. We're actually fairly nice. Weirdly. Ooh! Did you just give up your home? Okay. I mean, I guess at that point, death was inevitable if you kept fighting me. You're not gonna be a threat for a very long time. So let's focus now on the assembly of clans, and let's get this world up and running properly. Sure. Okay, so what I really need right now is some more admin cap, and I'm suffering with consumer goods as it is. I'm actually going to de-tech you completely. Oh good, I can also throw some of the populations I stole back onto their homeworld, now it's ours. Okay, but we're going to need some resources for that. Yes, thank you. So let's sort all this out. So our neighbours, the clans, actually were just at war with these fellows, and they won. They really won, which makes me somewhat nervous. Gonna try and get my population up a little bit more. Well, sorry, our navy up a little bit more before attacking, I think. At least a little bit. Okay, with you, admin office and food. Once again, we'll only accept surrender if you give us your homeworld. Going to war a little bit earlier than I originally thought, just because I think going to war now before they're back in position, because I think their armies should still be over here, and before they're fully recovered is probably the best idea. So it's going to rush all the way to their homeworld so we can grab all the stations. We have also just got the Great Game, increasing our starbase damage by 20%. This includes stations we're currently just simply controlling. So to take all this back is going to be really painful for them. Just stick together, lads. Okay, you're actually faster, aren't you, because of your leader? Yep, okay, you're going to follow that one. Going to hotkey you. There we are. Just stick together, and I think we can make such a decisive blow here and make it so difficult for them. It will be best for us. Lovely. Ruined Dyson Sphere. Oh, now that's something I want. Oh, we just took down a chunk of their fleet. Yep, they were going to regroup with that. Not anymore, though. How strong is this? 1.4k. Okay, it's not the strongest I've ever seen, but it should be enough to really hurt them if I try and go that way. Well, we can always status quo, which is good. In that case, what I might do is put a claim here as well, in case I do status quo, because I want that Dyson Sphere.
A spaceport has been lost to the other side.
The question is, do we go back and attack their fleets? You've got to have more than this one fleet, surely. No, you must have been really hurt by that war. Okay, ooh. A ruined matter decompressor! You've got 2 amazing ruined megastructures in your territory. You know what, yeah, take out that fleet. I want all of that. Claims are too expensive now I've gone to war, though. You know what, heal up. I'll probably just end up bombarding your worlds instead, like I did with the Chim, and then hopefully you'll surrender your homeworld. Taking 2 homeworlds in the first 50 years. That's pretty nice for me. I'm not normally this aggressive, so this is very nice. You're breaking yourself against your own stations, and I'm not even going to let you do that. You know what, sure, let's take out their last station in the area, then go over there. Let's just take out all the stations, then they're pretty much done for. I can do whatever I want with them, then. We were victorious, which means now we have another capital world as our own. This time, the frog people. And they really like alloy production. In fact, most of them do. Seems like most of them are gearing up for war. Now, I'm not actually the strongest empire. In fact, I'm still 3rd. The nation and the hierarchy are both currently stronger than me, so I am kind of nervous. However, the nation also has a relic world here, which I really, really want. And I'm in a warmongering mood at the moment. It turns out, being a fanatic militarist and having Distinguished Admiralty, that plus 30% damage with our ships, makes us very powerful in the early game, especially when we have all of these lovely starter bonuses. We've been very lucky. Very, very lucky, and I am pushing that luck to the max at the moment, at least for me. Again, I'm not normally very aggressive in the early game. So, yeah, very happy with that. Okay, we don't need this many alloys. I know it's insane to say, but we just don't. First of all, admin cap, and then I'm thinking maybe finally tech? You know what, yeah, change that, and then swap you and you for research. Maybe one of you... Yeah, one of you for research, one of you for a monument. It's not exactly very specialised, though. I'll specialise them more as time goes on. We've pretty much destroyed these two empires. I mean, I can actually demand tribute from you now. So when we can declare war, I'll turn you into a tributary or into a subject. I can't talk at the moment. I'm still recovering from food poisoning, to be fair. I have no idea what's going on with this empire and its borders. Everyone else is doing them okay, just that one's just all over the place. Could make a claim on their homeworld again. You know what? Sure. The main thing we're after, though, is this. They have a size 25 relic world, which we want. In fact, if we're going by the lore of this empire, there's a good chance that used to be ours anyway. So we're just reclaiming it. You know. As is our want to do. I think we're plenty strong enough, honestly, so... Declare war. Plunder as always. So if they do give up, they also give us loads of minerals and energy, which also weakens them. Okay, all of you just get there, please. About to invade these primitives. I think they're quite weak, am I right? Oh, it's a Gaia world! I didn't even notice. Okay, about to get a Gaia world. We're going to be so powerful by the end game at this rate. I mean, we have 3 homeworlds worth of people and buildings and everything. We are really, really skyrocketing in power. Still scared of some of the empires, though. The nation was stronger than us, but we've managed to outscale them. The assembly and the hierarchy, though, are both still stronger than us, so I am still somewhat nervous here. And what I need to do is build a bastion right here. Yeah, build that into the bastion. It should be okay, then. Do I have any more relics to sell? Yes, I do. But that's going to be it for a while, I think. Oh, wait, no, we still have one more minor colony, then one more regular colony. And we do have this over here, so, you know what? Ignore what I just said. As usual, Lathrix is being a dumb. A dumb with so much power. Our neighbours have decided to join in the fun, so the hierarchy is now attacking the nation. Because we are. We're going to weaken them. Oh, I could go for mind over matter already. I was honestly wanting to go down the genetic route, but getting the psionic stuff this early is lovely. Okay, we are Psychers. And since we do have the Psyker Precursor, once that's finished, it actually allows us to access the Shroud more often than usual, so we can really try and get one of the Covenants we want. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna need a science vessel over here. Can I please get a spare science vessel just to explore this one system so I can please continue? Right now, we're just gonna sit here. I'll move there, I guess, so they can't rush past us. Are we scary enough you can just surrender? That'd be nice. So, whilst we wait until our science vessel gets in position, this is our species now. They are latent psionics, meaning they get extra research, and they also get extra energy from jobs. It's not all that powerful, but it's nice just to have instantly. Also, I'm liking this portrait more and more. It's so creepy. It's like a goblin. A really evil goblin. I'm gonna call you Larry Jr. They went from being equivalent, then we started the war, then they briefly went to superior, which really scared me, and now they're inferior. They're losing the war with our neighbours, which are also superior to me, so I'm just able to do whatever I want here right now, which is great. Just need my science vessel to survey that system, so we can keep on moving, then we can go to their homeworld and do some damage. Oh, actually, no, I can just bounce anyway. Lovely. They don't really have any force, so I am not nervous about this attack in the slightest. And I'm finally starting to tech up as well. Not much, but, you know, I am. They're fighting back, trying to take some of their systems back, and I'm just here to make things worse. Hello. Well, that was pretty brutal. Oh no, my Admiral. You did so much good work. Then you died. And I've already forgot your name. There's a message in there somewhere, but I'm not smart enough to think about it. This war has been incredibly easy, but I am now getting really nervous. The hierarchy is getting closer and closer to our borders, and the Combine is devouring the clans. And the Combine, which originally was inferior, is now equivalent. So we have a superior over here, which I think may have been an advanced start, but it's hard to tell. We have the Combine, which definitely wasn't an advanced start. God knows what's happening over here to the Assembly. It looks like it's being attacked by another Empire, but yeah, I am surrounded by two very scary adversaries, so we need to start focusing a bit more after this. If we status quo now, I definitely get the Relic World, but now I kind of do want this homeworld. If my ground forces can get there safely, it's mine. Right now I'm just stealing some populations though. As I tend to do. Also, this, the Chim are starting to become one of our... No, they are now officially our most numerous species. Well done, Chim. Told you you'd be happy with us. Well, this is a nice surprise. We're friendly currently with the hierarchy. Okay, I'm more than happy with that. That is really weird, honestly. With the AI and the mod, normally becoming friendly is actually very, very difficult. Things like border friction and such are kind of brutal. They just shift their opinion of you very, very quickly. For instance, for a while, the Combine over here really loved us. Then it got too close to us, then suddenly started to... Wait, are you inferior? A moment ago you were equivalent. What? Okay, you're currently at war with the regime. This could be my chance then to take you out. My fleets are also currently returning, so... you're not really a threat right now. Wait, can I even get to you? Ooh, yes, because you've taken over this, that's now under your control, and I can use that to jump into your territory. And there's no way you can really get out to attack me. Yeah, once I'm past that threshold, you're pretty much done for. Okay, let's get our fleets into position. The Combine is our next target. As always, we'll make a claim on their homeworld. If they wish to surrender, they have to give us something precious. Annoyingly, I was incorrect with the assumption that because they currently control this, I'd be able to jump into their territory if I went to war with them. I have had to go to war with the other two empires here, but they are broken from my last attack, so it's not really a huge threat. I'm just going to send my smaller fleet over to here to cause some damage and steal some population. The rest are going to go through and take over the new bit of territory, being led by a psychic. Just happily devouring one of the planets. Or he dealt with one of the others. So it seems like, combined, their fleet power is actually somewhat dangerous for us, but they were all over the place because they were just at war, and we've just, well, we can now devour worlds fairly quickly because our devastation rate just rises much faster than it used to. It used to be only 0.04% damage per day, now it's a full 0.22. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just stealing all of the populations, and every time I steal, it means their economy is being drained and they can't sustain themselves. It's very quickly destroying them. Problem is, I don't really have enough resources to keep up with all the new populations, which is kind of a problem, actually. Can we keep on building buildings? It would be lovely if we could build buildings. Where are you? Negotiate crime lords, there we go. And honestly, I'd love some more unity. Okay, down to 2. Probably won't be able to grab their homeworld, so let's just steal all the populations from it. Ooh, they've taken back all of the stations I stole. They might start attacking our territory, but I don't really care too much. As long as I'm here stealing all their populations, that's all I really want. In fact, you can go there and just defend the choke point. Wow, you so rapidly start to steal things. That is one thing to say. When you go with Fanatic Militarist, if you start to win the early game, you do snowball very quickly, especially if you're going with something like Barbaric Despoilers. Since you don't have to rely completely on claims and everything else, you can just steal populations, you're not really paying anything in, and you're getting a lot out of it. Wow, I am really messing up with amenities. It's because I've had such huge spikes of population, I'm not paying attention to things quite as much as I really should. I swear I will start to work on micromanaging the worlds a bit better soon. It's only been 50 years, it's just, everything's so quick-paced this time round. Oh, also, already, they've gone back to being wary with us. Like I say, it's very easy for the AI to just hate you with this mod. Look at these worlds actually being decently made. The only reason why their amenities are so bad is because the devastation is so high because, you know, we are bombarding it. As our population increases and increases. Ooh. Okay, you just stay there. We don't really have much here of interest. We have that world there, but I don't really care too much, so yeah, you can just sit there. They do actually have a decent bit of fleet power. They have about 3,000, 4,000 already. And they're being smart enough to just avoid my main killer fleet over here, because these would just utterly obliterate them. Okay, I actually underestimated the enemy, and it's completely my fault. So they've taken over some worlds here, including my home world. It's not really a big deal. They don't have claims there, but still, that's my fault. We also lost a fleet because of that. So what I'm going to do is just go back and grab these two systems. That's all they want in the status quo. Ooh. We're almost able to just achieve war goals. That's interesting. We're very close, in fact. Okay, all of you, except for the smallest fleet, continue. You're going to stay here and occupy random systems to get some more points. If we can achieve war goals, it means they don't get any of that anyway, and we'll also get the home world. So you go and do that.
A hostile fleet has appeared to us.
And although my economy currently is just utterly broken because of all this, I do have a lot of stuff I can sell, so it's not really a big deal. I can definitely float for a while.
We have declared war.
Going to turn this rather small empire here into our tributary. Honestly, we could just take over the territory. We do have the influence for it, but I would just like to have a tributary for the fun of it, really. I think this fits the empire. I'm actually a little bit concerned now. Now, it may have looked so far like I've been doing incredibly well, especially with the new mechanics, making it a little bit more easy to claim systems and such without having to do every last thing to appease the AI into finally surrendering. But honestly, I'm a little bit behind. There are like 3 or 4 empires right now, which are just better than us. They are ahead of us. And the hierarchy right now is once again ahead of us. And they consume all of this space above us. Now, if we went to war, I think I would just about win. Right now. But they keep on building more alloy foundries, just more alloy worlds, and their fleets are getting really scary. Now, thankfully, they're warring with some of the other larger empires, but if that ever stops, we're in the firing line. Now, thankfully, the Combine down here, I have just completely obliterated. I stole almost all of its population. It's a non-threat. It's been neutered. It's just not there anymore. So what I need to do, really, is just consolidate my power, completely take over the Combine, the Assembly, the Regime, just all these areas over here should be completely mine, and then we go after the Hierarchy next. If I can just take over this section of the galaxy, I think we're in a great position. Though I do need to start moving on to tech. Remember, 25 times Crisis is on the way. I think that's what this mod does well. It's kind of scary, but you need a military more than usual, because friendship is difficult with this mod, because all of the normal diplomacy channels have been nerfed. For instance, if I tried to trade them, oh, you were superior a second ago. Oh, yeah, because you're at war. If I traded them, I wouldn't get much in the way of a positive. How are we receptive when you have minus 160? Either way, yeah, if I traded them and gave them loads of stuff, I wouldn't get much of a positive response. If I got some favors from them, they're less powerful, they simply add up to less points than usual. And negative envoys are more powerful than positive envoys in this game. As you can see, I've been improving our relationship for a long time. It's capped out at 75. No matter how many envoys I would send, it would cap out 75, whereas the negative caps out, I think, still at 200, or at least over 75. So, yeah, friendship is not easy in this one. Diplomacy is hard. One change I really like in this mod is the whole, relative navy strength. It becomes way more of a factor in deciding the victors of war. So right now, I'm almost there already. Although it looks like I'm not, I'm almost there already in terms of achieving my war goal, because I'm just so strong. The other empire wouldn't be so stupid as to really put much of a fight when I'm this much more powerful than them. They are going to lose countless lives and everything else, and that makes a lot more sense to me. I do like the changes. I think it is a little bit more one-sided than usual. Oh no, who released these guys? In that the stronger empire has more of an advantage than ever, but I'm okay with that, because sometimes I don't want to take over smaller empires because the amount of effort it takes, even though I'm so much stronger than them, having to take over every last planet, having to do every last little thing, just so they just about surrender. It can get very annoying, to say the least. And there we are. We have a tributary now, so I don't have to deal with those anymore. And I think I'll turn the Combine into my vassal when I can go to war with them, purely because then I can eventually absorb them into ourselves, so we can grab all this territory. You're currently at war, aren't you? Yeah, so I can't actually do much with you right now. Okay, once again, back to waiting until less war and I can actually go to war. You are already, yeah, the tributary of the hierarchy. Okie dokes. Time to make this empire into our protectorate. Eventually we will absorb them, but for now we will defend them. It's a good deal overall. And once again, we're not even treating the species we control badly in any way. There we go, there's a Saiga. This is just really cleaning up from the wars we've already done. These are the empires we've already crippled and just destroyed, essentially. And we're just taking the last little bits now. First, we siphon away all their population, then we take them over. Simple as that, really. Shouldn't take too long. As soon as they have a little bit of war exhaustion, we will be able to take them over. It's time to reach into the Shroud. Also, we have now gained control over the Shipping Alliance, which I don't really know what happened there. I think they may have been part of the regime at some point, and they broke out. I'm not quite sure. Either way, though, this whole chunk now is ours, and we'll be going after the Combine fairly soon. But for now, into the Shroud we go. Psionic jump drives. Nice start. Especially since we do actually have Zero, so yeah. That is wonderful. Wow, that early as well. Yep, yes please. Yes, yes, and yes again. Okay, I'll return home. How long until we can go to war with these fellas? Okay, we already can. Demand vassalization is what I'm going to do, so all of you, get your butts there. And get ready to attack them. Once again, they're so weak, it won't take too long to take them over. Then we'll probably move over and attack Prime over here, which isn't doing very well. Yeah, the Conclave is one of the ones which is just outright stronger than us. Same with the States. There's at least 3 or 4 empires which are literally just better than us right now. Now, this enemy is pretty much already defeated since we've siphoned off most of their population before. So this will be a very, very quick war indeed.
We have declared war.
Let's go straight after that. Then just go after all the star systems. We'll send in the ground forces once everything else is dealt with. We even have some cruisers now, which are just hanging back in case we need them. Oh, well that's interesting. The world we took from them, their old home world, because they had prosperous unification, we actually get to keep that bonus on the world. I honestly thought that vanished. I mean, it makes sense it doesn't, but still. Yeah, note to self, this ocean world is going to be really useful in the future. Just plus 10% resources from jobs. It's very similar to a Gaia world. And it increases happiness. Yeah, that's pretty darn nice. So what's interesting is apparently, on our other homeworld we stole, we also have prosperous unification. So we have 2 worlds with that. Note to self, focus on these worlds more. Once more we look into the Shroud. Oh, please, is this a Covenant one? No, but that is really good though. So that is essentially... yeah, it's one of the other bits of tech for our ships. It's just a really, really good ship AI. Okay, I mean, I'm very happy with that as well.
Station has been engaged.
Good jump drives and a good AI. Yeah, that's fine. Well, it cost a fortune, but they make claims now on their final world, so if they lose this war, they are quite literally destroyed. Refugees arrive. Why? What's happened? Ooh, is it you fellows? It could be, if you're at war with... wow, multiple types of refugees. From Prime. Wait. Oh, no, you're attacking... okay, so... I don't quite know why you're getting refugees. Oh, you just made peace. Okay, so you just gained some worlds. Wow, even after the war, you're still equivalent to us. A second ago, they were superior to us, so I guess I lost some in the war. But they are beating us in tech as well, so they are pretty much ahead of us in most ways. Well, not gonna say no to extra populations, obviously. That's always good for us. Ooh, and you like Tomb Worlds. Oh, Tundra. No, Tomb, right? Tomb Worlds. I'm going absolutely mad. Well, we actually have 2 Tomb Worlds, so, sure, you can both go ahead. 1 each. Fantastic. Because we are rivals with the Swarm, this empire over here, the Absorbers, actually like us. They are fanatic authoritarians. We may have the potential of a federation in our future. The Absorbers went from liking us to hating us in moments. Same with the Hierarchy. Yeah, the AI is so unfriendly. Unless you are perfectly aligned with them, being friends is not an option. Well, saying that, we're also not a particularly friendly empire ourselves, so we can't really get away with any proper diplomacy. We are, after all, Despoilers. We have a natural negative for everyone. Well, plus 20% research speed isn't exactly bad, so thank you very much for that. Oh, pliff-plaffs. Pliff-plaffs. Oh, pliff-plaffs. I want to form a federation with you. Ooh, a hegemony would be amazing, since that's all about the more powerful empire, which we are probably going to become soon. We have outscaled you in terms of population and everything else. It's amazing that you've kept up. In fact, you are slightly stronger than us right now, but soon we will be the stronger of the two, and I could easily just stay in full control of this federation. Then we can also force other empires to join us later, but we could go with the Martial Alliance, which is something I never go with. And straight away, that increases our ship build speed and our ship's starter experience, which is really nice. Oh, I love both of these, but with the hegemony as well, not only can we force other people to join us, which is great, they can't leave unless they declare war on the entire Federation, which keeps them with us. And with how flighty the AI is right now, I think that's what we're going to go with. And, hey! So what's the Federation even called? The Federation is the Glorious Harvester Coalition. Yep, seems fine by me. Whoa, we are losing a lot of cohesion, though. Ah, thankfully our allies put down their people as well. Whoa, why do we have so many... What? Oh, it's all of my minions, of course it is. I was really confused there. Oh, yeah, it's my minions and one of theirs. Okay, 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 I get it, I get it. So that hasn't interrupted my, absorption, has it? No, they're still being absorbed. Great. Well, hopefully this will keep them happy with us now, since we're in a federation with them, so that's great. Also, our fleets are looking way better now, since we have the better AI for them, the better combat computers and everything. Things are looking very, very good. Ooh, we also got a jump of influence for that. That's nice. What senses do we lack that we cannot see and cannot hear another world all around us? You. Oh, the Chosen One! So, one of our leaders... Oh, in fact, our warlord is now the Chosen One. Well, that's the thing. The Chosen One is immortal. The Chosen One gives extra influence. The Chosen One gives extra governing ethics attraction. Essentially, they are a living god. All hail the Emperor. This leader is the Chosen One, an immortal being that wields incredible psionic power. We are led by a god themselves. Our rule is now divine. I really want to go to war with Prime right now, but the problem is the hierarchy and Prime's allies are all equal strength to me, and their allies can actually get to me right now because they have no closed borders with their neighbours. So what I need to do is make sure to have at least a bastion here on the choke point, and at least something which can stay in this area. Because as soon as we go to war, there's a good chance the hierarchy will go to war with us, seeing us in our weakened state. At the moment, because we're in a federation, I doubt they're going to attack us. We are very equal, the hierarchy and ourselves, but I have allies. They have 2 vassals, but no allies to go to war with them. So right now we're in this horrible Cold War status, which I'm hoping to fix before 2300. I would love to go to war with Prime and pretty much decimate them, or go to war with the hierarchy. But I just need a little bit more strength. Even with my Federation allies, they can't get there to help us out with the hierarchy, so we are pretty much on our own, and right now, I don't know if we would necessarily win. But I do think that's who we should go to war with, actually. Now I'm thinking about it, not Prime, we go to war with the hierarchy, we can steal their populations, unlike with Prime, and we already do have this lovely Star Fortress ready as a choke point here. Which is pretty nice. Finally, we have integrated the other empire. They no longer exist. They no longer exist, rather, but they are now us. I can't talk at the moment. It's getting very, very late. I've just looked at the time. Oh my god, it's 2:30 AM. Okay, it's later than I thought it was. And wow, we are going to need to really fix that empire sprawl right now, please. That would be fantastic. That's actually a pretty decent world, I'm surprised. Yeah, 51 population, no wonder our Empire Sprawl was a bit problematic there. Still need to start going more into tech now, though. Whoa, loads of alloys. You know what, you can stay as a foundry world, then. In fact, I'll change you over manually right now. You're a forge world. You can go into civilian industries. That should be enough now, and honestly I should have started upgrading the offices rather than building more. We have lots of crystals to spare, so sure. Now, once we have 50 more influence, what am I going to spend that on? Well, we can now get a new civic. And there's lots of options I really want. Now, the most powerful really is the guilds. It would allow 40% of our population to be owned, which I think makes sense now that we've reached this status. We have so many other species within our empire. Although I said we're not particularly evil, I also think we're very controlling of our species. We also have essentially a god in control, which I do think is going to be able to, let's say, extend some influence. Having nobles wouldn't actually be terrible. That's more stability on our planets. Bureaucrats provide stability and unity, and that's pretty meh. It's not great. What else do I want? Memorialists are interesting, at least. Though we don't really need them at this stage. Though actually, memorialists are fairly powerful. It allows you to have loads of extra stability on your planets if you build loads of them. And warrior culture also works. I think the guilds is just too powerful an option.
Construction venture.
And we are going pretty power hungry at this stage. It turns out Distinguished Admiralty, and Fanatic Militarist are a very, very powerful combo. And yet I still struggled in stages. Again, love this mod so far. Ooh. The Syndicate controls all of the galaxy, as does the Absorbers. Well, at least they're fighting over it. Well, I don't know just yet. The guilds are the more obvious choice. Oh, and it would cut down on consumer goods so much. And we are authoritarian, so that would give us a bonus as well. Oh, I don't really know what to go with. Pretty much on every world I can now, well, it's every starhold above a world, I'm now building the sites. Now, these, the deep space sites essentially increase stability of the planets, while also giving us a little bit of unity. Not much, but it is pretty nice to have so many of them. Now, we do have the problem at the moment, ta-da, of we have too many star bases, but as our population increases, that will start to fix itself. Keep on tripping over my words today, just worse than usual. So the question is, who do we go to war with next? I'm still really uncertain, and next month we can finally decide our next civic, and I think I've decided it just makes complete sense to go with the guilds. The guilds are going to give us such a power spike. We've had a great start from an empire I don't normally like, and I think this is a way forward, honestly, because this will massively cut down on our consumer goods, it'll cut down on our amenities. It's just a serious, serious power spike. So, reform. We now have the guilds, so 40% of our population is now owned. So what we want is full citizenship, however, we also want indentured servitude. There we are. So all of our species now should be following that. Yep, full, and... Wait, when did I get rackets? I don't remember getting it. Well, to be fair, I've just grabbed loads of worlds, so it must be on one of those. Either way, that means once the month rolls over, we should see the consumer goods drop significantly. Yep, by 40, which is really, really good. And anyone who is working a specialist job who are now owned, I'm very sorry about that. Oh, none of you. Ah, it seems like they've prioritized just giving them worker jobs. That's a shame, because they will be getting a 5% bonus from us being authoritarian, and a 10% bonus for the guilds themselves. So we want as many of our own populations to be in the specialist jobs, but sadly, because of how it's been prioritized later on, they've all just been given these jobs. Which means, right now, really, we should have just left them as they were, because that would have gave them plus 10% from jobs. Ooh. Can we still change them? I thought we wouldn't be able to just yet. That's curious. Small population. Test subject. No, wait, no, not you, because you're alone on a world. I'll test you out later. Either way, it doesn't really matter too much. In the long term, it will start fixing itself. And we've just lost our scientist, who is finally sorting out the final bit of our precursor. Could we please get one psionic? That would be fantastic. There we are, because psionics have +1 to their archaeology level. Ooh. Is there any higher level scientist which is doing nothing? Because that is pretty bad. No way, I have no one spare. We really need to get better scientists. Like, wow. That's what I need to do very soon. So I'm at a point now where I really don't know what to do next. So on one hand, I think we could take either the Hierarchy or Prime in a fight, especially since now I have my allies here, and especially Prime. Because Prime and the Hierarchy are both equal to me. Apparently the Hierarchy is actually a little bit stronger than me, but not by much. But the problem is, as soon as I go to war with one, the other one is likely to go to war with me. At the moment, everyone is just warring with each other. That's why the border's looking so weird. It's just constant warfare pretty much everywhere in the galaxy. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do next. I think, ultimately, attacking the Hierarchy is a better idea, because we also get populations from it. Also, I want this thing. This thing will be just amazing later. So focus on the Hierarchy, but I do need some more forces just to make sure I'm strong enough to deal with it all. Plus, I need this bastion up and running, so I have some protection from their lackeys. The nation is not strong, but I don't have enough forces to divert over there, and they could start attacking our systems. I need at least one maxed out bastion, similar to this. Our bastions are actually really nasty at the moment, because we have finished supremacy, and because we are fanatic militarists. And on top of all of that, something to consider is that right now I don't even have the influence to make any good claims, so I'm not really getting all that much. As long as they're psionic, I am happy with pretty much any leader at the moment. Finally, we have enough admin cap. So what do I need to focus on? More alloys, more tech? Honestly, more tech. We need to get ahead on that now. Currently, pretty much everyone is equal or better than me in tech, and I do not like that. So, just research labs everywhere? No, this is a really good industrial world. We'll keep it as it is. Right now, we are still only just about stable with that. We have way too much food. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to war with the hierarchy to plunder them. That means they're probably going to surrender quite quickly, but we should be able to take some of their populations. It'll weaken them significantly, it'll strengthen us, and we'll get some minerals and energy out of it in the long term. We could also hire some mercenaries. We have enough money. So once my fleets are upgraded, they're now currently just about to start that, then I think we should go to war now. We just need to stay at war. That's the thing. We are Despoilers. It's what we do. So here's something interesting. We have just declared war with the States, an option I didn't even mention before because I didn't even realise how badly they were losing. They have actually just now been at war. They have lost most of their fleets. They are currently pathetic to us in terms of their fleet power. The only empire in the game which currently is, by the way. And I've declared war on them because my allies will go to war in my stead. If we win, they become my protectorate, and eventually I can absorb them. I can take all of this territory without lifting a finger. Absorbers! Obey my will. Do you hear the voices too? More lifespan would be cool. Okay, yep, so my leaders have increased lifespan.
Vessels have been refitted.
At least any harvester leader. That's nice, yeah, plus 40 years. Oh, actually, no, some of the... Oh, it's only the psionic leaders. Oops, more reason to get psionic leaders. Well, our leader's going to be around for a little bit longer at least, which is nice. But I really want a covenant. I need a covenant. My allies are doing my bidding as requested. It's good to have friends. We just hit a tech breakpoint of upgrading our ships. They've went from using the really, really low-end kinetic weapons to Ripper autocannons, and I've just realised I've messed up by only using the rank 2 blue lasers here. Doesn't even matter. Right now, we are officially stronger than the hierarchy by a decent margin. For this very brief opportunity, we can go to war, we can utterly obliterate them. The problem is, they're going to surrender pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do, as usual, is place a claim on their homeworld. So if they do want to give up early and don't give me all their populations, they can, but they're giving me their homeworld. My economy is just beautiful. Okay, can I please hire some mercenaries? There's something else, I want more mercenaries. There's something else, I want more mercenaries. Thank you. There's something else. Bye. Okay, mercenaries get over there. I'm going to go to war now, because otherwise the mercenaries timer will start to tick out. My fleet's already moving. Yes, I'm going to go to war. The nation will be dragged into this war, I believe, which means our mercenaries are going to go here, and they're going to just take population, that's all. I don't really care about the worlds. I should do, but I don't really have enough. I guess I could make some claims on their worlds. No, because I just want to bombard that world straight away, the one closest to us, yeah. So, mercenaries go there, our main forces go after the other empire, whilst my allies attack over there. Yeah, we are a proper little mercenary band, aren't we? Despoilers can be fun when you get an amazing start. We are now at war. So what I've done is I've actually had to declare war separately with these fellows. I thought they were a vassal, but they're actually a tributary. I just misread that. Look how weak they are. But I do actually have a claim on their homeworld, which is a little bit annoying, so I just wanted to steal the population. So what I'm going to do is just attack, then go straight for this world, which has about 20. Over here, I'm going to move all my fleets over here as fast as possible, because I've noticed the only other way they're going to attack us is by going round. I'm just hoping I can get there fast enough and take that station. I should do. I have corvettes on the way, so unless they're using a corvette fleet, which I don't think they are. Ooh, hello. Ooh, okay, there's corvettes and cruisers. Wow, what a weird mix. But they are closer. Oh, it's gonna hurt. They're gonna... Okay, good luck. Really should start using some of these. So, what I really want is the extra ammunition, so what I really need then is lots of you. But I also want the extra gas for extra speed, so I'm gonna do all this. Just grab loads of that in the most inefficient way possible, apparently. Extra fuel, extra ammunition, extra shield boost, extra armor. There we go. And sure, focusing crystals. Recycling campaign. Nope, apparently not. I'll sort that out later. I just need that station. I need that station grabbed so I can activate the FT. Yes! My new glorious minion over here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh my god, I've actually got a lot of power still. No, go after them, no, go after them, come on. I still have a Corvette fleet, so they're going to be able to... No, don't let them warp out! I think one warped, What do I do here? Do I chase them down, or do I not bother and try and build up a backup fleet? I think a backup fleet... Yeah, I'm just going to build a backup Corvette swarm. And I'll send those over to here as soon as they're done. They should be able to counter them. We're losing a lot here. Hopefully not enough that the hive mind want to attack us. No, yeah, we just utterly obliterated them. Never mind. Now that's blocked off. So they can't go this way anymore. So what I'm going to do now is just bombard their world. Make sure they're all on plunder. Excellent. Going to grab those 26 people. Meanwhile over here, these are doing just fine. But can you please go here? That'd be great. 5k should be more than enough, yeah, to stop them. That's fine as well. Okay. Yeah, they're doing what I thought they're doing. So they're moving this way. They're going to go to one of these two. What I might do then, in the background, is just quickly start creating those. I don't have any shipyards over here anymore. I used to, but I destroyed them and turned them into anchorages very recently, in fact. Okay, their populations are being stolen. The problem is I forgot I had a world over here, so out the way I just forgot that's where it is. So that's going to be invaded. There's nothing I can redo there. So well, there's something I can do. Back to what I'm doing is I'm moving my fleets over so I can take over the world nearby, and I'm going after this world instead. Oh, mighty shroud. Please give me a covenant. I have no idea. This one. Darn, absolutely nothing. You won't get past your own stations. That's fine. Where's that fleet gone? I've got a Corvette fleet waiting. You know what? If you're not going to attack that way, then I'll just take out this colony. I've just finished off this world. Pretty much ruined at this stage. Now we go for the next. Ooh. Should have paid more attention to the order I'm entering. Okay, please, thank you. Did I just lose the fleet then?
A belligerent fleet has been engaged.
Yeah, these bonuses are amazing, by the way. 25% extra armor and shields, 25% extra damage from pretty much every source we have. Yeah, makes us fairly powerful. And yet, we're still taking a few losses. And again, this has been pretty much the dream start for a Despoiler as well. Bear that in mind again. One more world, should soon be ours. Or at least the people there will be. Okay, do some ground forces there. Sure, we'll kill the envoy, that's fine. Here's our marauders doing their work. They're really annoying, those that little force there. Well, I mean, if we get a win, which we probably will do fairly soon, it's fine. We're going to take the 2 homeworlds. Which has been our whole thing, hasn't it, this way through? With the new, with the modded war goals, which really allows you to have faster wars rather than just being stuck in a quagmire of just waiting for points to add up. Going for capitals is actually seemingly a pretty valid thing. Going for their main worlds. Like, this is going to be 63 people. It's a world of 63 people, and over here I think it's only 20, but still. It's something. And you guys, now you're here, may as well start gaming some people as well. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, now you're all healed up. Let's go to the next world. Though this might end up with our victory, honestly. Why are you so broken up at the moment? Well, I guess you did just all heal up after the last fight, but still. You like your cruisers. We like everything. Obliterated. I didn't realise this, but apparently I've had militarised economy on this whole time. I really don't like either civilian or militarised here. Essentially, you lose 25% of one to gain 15% of the other. Overall, I just find that really annoying. So, yeah, in a second, loads more consumer goods. My god, our consumer goods worlds can be converted to other things like tech now. Okay, well, that's good to know. So, now we need to focus more on anything else. This world's pretty much just a forge world, so it'll stay as it is. But yeah, so let's at least convert. Why are you even an industrial world? You're my tech world. I don't even know how or why that happened, honestly. But apparently it did. Finally, we have Zron. Which means now we have the Psionic Archive. The main thing here is the cooldown of Breach into the Shroud is reduced by 50%. And activating it, we can use this over here, ask it about matters of state, giving us extra stability on all of our worlds, less edict cost, and governing F extraction is increased. Not the strongest for its active effect, but the Breach into the Shroud, 50% reduction of cooldown is amazing. That means we can really try now to get a Covenant. And you should be attacking that. Can I win yet? Okay, fine, we'll chase after them because I'll get stuck here next to the station for a while. Could this be the place where everything began? Who knows, but here's plus 20% research speed. We are victorious versus the hierarchy, so now we have the homeworld. However, we're still not victorious in the second war. Why did that go up so much? Demanding surrender. What happens if I do this? Defenders. Grab to... Oh, that world. No, what world are you grabbing? I don't know what world you'd be grabbing here. Oh, it is that. Oh, that's the planet. Okay, I just misread that. So, no, we can't accept surrender just yet, I'm afraid. So, we continue to war, which is fine. Though I do now have your homeworld. This is a really weird war in terms of the rules. Increased influence is certainly very welcome, thank you. In fact, I'm going to start building habitats now. And soon I'm going to be integrating my vassal, which is going to cost loads of influence every month as well, so... all well and good. Okay, we are now integrating the states. This is going to take 67 months. And then all of that will be part of our empire as well. No idea what's going on over here. It just seems like loads of empty space. Also, the mid-game crisis hasn't happened yet, so I'm a little bit nervous about that, considering we do have Marauders right next to us. I'm tempted to actually take out the Marauders just because I am worried they're going to activate at some stage. But right now, we should be turning our attention over to Prime. We are definitely strong enough. Our tech is now skyrocketing. We are just a very, very, very powerful empire at this stage. I think we have essentially reached the stage where we're just going to win. The only threat now is the endgame crisis. We're going to have mega engineering soon, which means we can instantly reinstall the Dyson Sphere, giving us almost 4,000 energy. Well, it's 3,400, but still it's a lot of energy. Once that's up and running, I don't know what else to say, just we had such an amazing run. Still no Covenant though. Come on, old gods. Listen to our prayers. I've finally been able to go through wormholes, and look over here. This is where the wormhole in our territory goes to. It's completely unguarded and pretty much unexplored space. Mostly because the geckos here, the purifiers, are stopping all expansion this way, so this whole area is up for grabs. Oh, okay. Psionic shields. Very nice. Especially if we fight the Unbidden. Going to take this brief moment of peace to start assimilating our other species. This is going to hurt our economy because while they're being assimilated, they won't be able to do anything else. But, of course, once they're finished, they're going to be psionic, making them far more useful to us.
A system survey has concluded.
Okay, so for 60 months, we're going to be a little bit stronger. Well, the game just lagged out and I honestly thought it was crashing, so I forgot. Yep, we've just gained all of this territory. Oh, this is going to be a lot of micromanagement very briefly now. Yeah, need to remove stations, need to sort things out. God, I need a gateway soon. Yeah, gateway tech is definitely something I'm looking out for a lot. There is a lot to deal with here, and we do not have enough psychers. Yeah, I need to make all of my species psychers. I'm gonna set it to the default soon, so it's gonna convert all of the species into psychers, but that's gonna tank the economy, so obviously I don't want to do that during wartime. Right now, I'm just putting in some filler governors, which I'll change later. Okay, so I can look at your worlds. Oh, you were pretty much destroyed before, so yep. Pretty balanced worlds, quite a few of them. Ooh, who are you? Okay, for a second there I thought the enemy I'm fighting right now, which is you, could get there. It seems like you can't get to the wormhole. I am actually building up the bastion there, plus I have a backup fleet, so I'm not too nervous. There are a few fleets sort of moving around, but they're really far away. The bulk of their armies are going to take a long time to get there. By then, I will have devastated the hive mind. That's what you get for having a federation so split up. But now I need to sort out a lot of this. A lot of the buildings have vanished because I can't have them. They had specific buildings from their civics, which obviously vanished when I took control. So right now, let's just do that, and then we'll go back to focusing on alloys as much as possible, because I really, really, really want that Dyson Sphere up and running as soon as possible, but right now it is very, very expensive. Oh, hello. A presence. Ah, the Eater of Worlds. In my opinion, the worst covenant. As we reach out for the presence, we sense a great hunger. The presence wastes no time, not words. It is the Eater of Worlds, and it wishes to devour us. Only some of us, though. No more than we can spare. In exchange, it will grant us great powers. So, the good thing with the Eater of Worlds, obviously, is fire rate is always awesome, especially in the early to mid-game. Late game, you have so many repeatables, this really doesn't matter as much. The problem is this can actually literally eat a world from time to time. As the name may suggest, a world will be devoured, or just a large chunk of population. It's depressing, because that's the first covenant we've seen, but I am not accepting that. We've just uplifted a species, giving us loads of influence, and we can now activate the Dyson Sphere. Oh, that's going to take so long. Well, it's going to take a long time, but it's still certainly worth it considering how much power that's going to give us. Essentially, that's going to single-handedly make us the strongest economy in the entire game, which we're like second at the moment, which is really weird. I mean, our economy is amazing, but somehow we're second. Maybe if I didn't constantly use all my economy for war, maybe that might work out. Also, only my corvettes are surviving. It's getting very annoying. I do want to have mixed fleets, but the corvettes just keep on being the ones which survive. Are we still dreaming? Ooh. Living metal. Not particularly useful since I have no living metal in my territory, but it's a pretty expensive tech we just got, so that's okay. It's okay. And upgrade to a citadel now. Well, that must be disheartening for them. Everyone is happy. But on the upside, I am now building battleships. I've also decided to go with Master Builders and with the Colossus Project. Now, I'm not going to build the Colossus Project just yet, because enemies can then declare war on us to end threat. Don't really want that right now, because there's too many enemies which are decently strong against us, but the Colossus Project is a great way to end, and if we end up facing the Scourge, it's also a great way to destroy Scourge worlds. So, really want that. Then we have Master Builders, then I'm probably going to grab, if I can find it, Galactic Wonders. There may be the Archaeology Project, though also maybe just Defender of the Galaxy, since we do have the Endgame Crisis 75 years early. Well, once again, we're looking into the Shroud and we have found a presence. Please, please be a Covenant I actually want. Yes, the Instrument of Desire. Okay, that is exactly what I want. Praise be Slanesh. So this is the entity of just pure glorious hedonism, plus 10% resources to all jobs. It's nice, it's simple. Occasionally, our people go a little bit mad. Some of them will take to the drink, some of them will, I think, go a little bit insane. Worlds will randomly change their governing ethics. Don't care. Plus 10% to all resources. That means alloys, consumer goods, research, everything. Praise be the Instrument of Desire. Excess is our way of life now. And on another note, there we go, we're starting phase 1 of the Science Nexus, which will start to increase our research speed. And we're about halfway with the Dyson Sphere as well. Also, I figured out... No, never mind, I was going to say, the Union is so strong because it's Federation fleet, but no, it's not part of the Federation. Why are you so strong? Oh, I'm a little bit nervous, actually. The Union is probably our only major threat in this galaxy. It's still superior to us, by the way, and I'm building battleships now. Proper fleets, look. It's a bit nerve-wracking, honestly. Well, we lost lots of our fleet, but finally we have victory here. Sadly, that was only for plunder, not for vassalization, because they were already at war with someone else, so I couldn't demand vassalization, or I may have misclicked. Honestly, I can't remember. It's actually been quite a few hours since the war started, since I was doing other things as well, but it does mean that now they are very much weakened, and one of our minions has got a little bit stronger, so well done to you. So that's good for us. Next, we are going to go after the Hierarchy. The Hierarchy now are just... well, they're nothing, honestly. At this stage, they are completely obliterated from the last few wars, where it stole their people, so I am going to actually make them into our vassal. We've declared war with our neighbours, so now we can just go ahead and do this. It's going to jump in absolutely everywhere and start attacking pretty much every little bit of territory they actually have left. Looks like the Imperium have done a good job taking a lot from them, though, which is a problem. So it'll be the Hierarchy, then the Imperium. I don't really care about Prime, although it's in the way and in the middle of our territory, which is really annoying. Taking over their world doesn't matter that much because they won't have any population on, because they're hive minds. So I don't care, I have to kill them, and that gives us nothing. So... Prime, you can just slowly be whittled away by our allies. They are constantly making claims. They can have it. All of my influence is going elsewhere. For instance, I'm building lots and lots of habitats. So far, almost all my influences come from repeatedly uplifting all the species we had in our many, many worlds. Sadly, that's finished now, though, which is a real shame. We were victorious. The Hierarchy and the Nation are now both under our control. It was a pretty straightforward battle, honestly. We just kept attacking them and they just gave up. There was nothing to it, really. We were just far, far stronger than them. So, the only enemy now, which is really of any threat, is the Union and the Fallen Empires if they wake up. And I really, 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 really want to go after some of the Fallen Empires. And I think the weakest is you. The Xenophiles. They have 222,000 fleets. They are mostly shields, or at least they favour shields a little bit, and their weapons are quite balanced, although they definitely have a preference to fighting shields. So they have loads of these Gauss cannons, and they have the larger cannons, the strike craft, then the smaller versions, once again lots of cannons, a few lasers here and there. It's a bit more balanced than completely focusing on anti-shield, but definitely anti-shield, which is a bit annoying because most of my stuff is shield-based, since I have the silent shields, which are incredibly powerful. The other reason why I want to go to war with these fellows is because I want the dark matter reactors and the dark matter thrusters. I don't care about the deflectors anymore, of course, but yeah, really want the extra power, really want the faster thrusters. So I'm going to move all my fleets back here, I'm going to start upgrading them, maybe change them a little bit to go against their shields, probably won't change to armor just because I've done a lot of shield repeatables. Our shields are really good right now, and I don't want to keep on upgrading over and over again. And until our mega shipyard is finished, it's going to be a while before I can really quickly swap between lots and lots of different loadouts. Right now, though, as well, our economy is a little bit weird, same with Empire Sprawl and everything else, because I have loads of species which are currently being assimilated. Like, yeah, down here, 102 of these, 81 of these, and just loads of others are being assimilated. So, it's going to be a while now, but then we're going to go to war with the Fallen Empire. We could go to war with the Imperium as soon as they're no longer at war, whilst I wait, since it is going to be a while before I'm strong enough. It would be nice to get the Imperium under our control now, so we can start counting down until we can control them. And my fleet's already strong enough. Are they at war? Since I'm converting all of my worlds into Gaia worlds, I'm going to be starting to push industrial development over in the Galactic Council as fast as possible, purely because I don't really care about all of these negative habitability modifiers. Gaia worlds are always 100%, so this minus 25%, which will be brutal for other empires, will have no effect on me whatsoever. So all of the people making the alloys cost less minerals, I'll be getting more minerals, my worker output is increased, which includes my owned populations. It's just incredibly powerful, and it even increases my diplomatic weight from my economy, which right now is my strongest asset. Asset. It sounds like you're saying something naughty, but then you say et and everything's fine. So, although the enemy AI is no longer keeping up with me quite as much, except for two empires, which are the Pliff-Plaff Absorbers, our bestest friends, and the Union, it has still been a real challenge, because remember, I have made this empire specifically so it's aggressive in the early game, and because of that, I'm now struggling for tech. We have less than 50 years before the endgame crisis arrives, with its millions upon millions upon millions of fleet power, and I am nowhere near prepared. My tech is nowhere near where it should be this late in the game. Although we are now at 9,000, we have almost no modifiers, our science nexus is only now just going up, we're actually very weak because we had to fight so aggressively in the early game. Normally, you don't have to do that without the mod, so liking that a lot, because it means a lot of the early super science rushy builds are going to be a bit more difficult. Not impossible, but perhaps really focusing on citadels or very early bastions, just because you can get more tech and get all that stuff up and running a little bit faster. Loads of work on choke points, but even then, it's still a lot worse than just the normal AI, which is a bit too passive, even when in aggressive. This time, there were several empires which just wanted to kill me. I managed to beat them, but that's because we are fanatic militarists. And we focus completely on alloys, so we made loads and loads of ships to defend ourselves, and ultimately got a really good start because of that. Okay, let's load more worlds now. Underway, becoming Gaia worlds. And I think I've already activated terraforming. Yes, I have, which increases terraforming speed by 50%. Wonderful. The faster I get those going, the better. Extra happiness means more stability, and they give a plus 10% resource bonus by default as well. So it's actually a lot more than 10% because of the extra happiness. So we really do want every world to be a Gaia world. So here's something interesting. Although we have owned populations, this is still really good in its very early stages for us. It gives extra worker happiness, which means all owned populations. It also gives us more diplomatic weight from populations, another thing we're really good at, so that increases our power significantly on the council. But it does have the negative effect, for us at least, where workers' political power is increased, which means if they're unhappy on a world, they will decrease the overall stability on the planet. But I don't think our own populations are actually that unhappy, are they? Look. Yeah, 55%, 65%, 55, 55, and that's an owned population. That's a population which aren't exactly free. That's how happy our people are. We have very, very happy people. And it's partially because psionic also increases happiness, but most of our stuff isn't very brutal. We're still not particularly evil. We do have owned population. Okay, never mind, Reeve. I'm trying to sound better than we are now. We are evil, but we're evil light. We're evil which won't put fat on your belly, you know? We're evil with a citrusy kick. I think the next playthrough I do, I should just be like the ultimate good guys, just even choosing things which will actually weaken the Empire because the Empire will do it. Essentially, heavy roleplay for the Empire. I don't really know what to do with that, though. I guess fanatic xenophile egalitarians, maybe? Something like that? So I found out something. Mostly because of my economy, I am classed as superior to the Union. Because of that, I can declare war with them. And once we're at war, and we add up all of my fleet strength with all of the fleet strength of all of my allies, it makes my navy, just my navy capacity, just my fleet power, there's what I was looking for, far, far superior to the Union's. Which means we're currently going to war to vassalize them. And honestly, I don't need to earn that many points. As long as I take out their fleet, and even if they take out my fleet, as long as they get lots of war exhaustion, we're going to be able to vassalize them fairly easily. Our Federation is just way too strong against the Union. So at this point, what I think I'm going to do in the future with this mod, after looking at it, is I'm going to, for once, turn on scaling difficulty. I think this is the perfect mod to use that with. Essentially, what that does is it means at the start of the game, no one gets any bonuses. It's as if you're playing normal difficulty, but then as the years progress, the AI gets more and more of those unfair, cheaty bonuses, all the way up until the end game year, which would be now, in which they essentially get the Grand Admiral bonus. So right now, they'd have, I think it's like, double everything, which would make them impossibly strong. And I think that would work perfectly, because right now, this isn't going to be too difficult. I mean, admittedly, it's later on than normal for me to get this stompy on all the enemies, but I did have the perfect start, the perfect mid-game, everything went our way, and it was still challenging in places. But I think setting it to Grand Admiral with scaling difficulty might be the way I want to play this. So, we're warring now, and honestly, I can't see how they're going to win. Like I say, all I need to do is stick together with these groups here and just go right for their fleets, which are currently scattered, by the way, because they just took out a whole other empire. There was an empire here, it's gone. They took out another empire, they're at war with a different empire other than that. They're not in a great place now because I saw one of their big fleets die during the fight. And we're just kind of being mean and beating them up. Though, to be fair, well, as I just said, they did kill a whole other empire, so maybe they're the mean ones and we're actually the good guys. Or we're just someone who wants to do horrible things to them. Who knows? Okay, so problem, they're all rushing towards this wormhole, and I have no idea where that wormhole goes. But it is somewhat worrying. Where does that wormhole go, guys? Oh, you're all waiting as well, you're all bunching up. I don't know where that goes. Hopefully it's just one of my allies' territory and not mine. Ah, Titans. Now spread out evenly amongst my fleets. Okay, I'll follow that one, please. Just continue forward. Wait, did I have a fleet with me? I'm accidentally invading one of the worlds. We could actually just steal some of their population, you know, go back to our Despoiler roots, but I feel like just forcing that war exhaustion is going to be the fastest way for us to get them under our control. Our first round of Gaia worlds have appeared. Look at that. Lovely. So yeah, plus 10% happiness and plus 10% resources. Almost at 100 stability now. Even the owned populations are relatively happy now, which is good. Could make them happier, actually. Wouldn't be too difficult. But for now, that is beautiful. And we have now maxed out on energy. I like alloys. I can't talk. Slowly in my mind, melting into a fine goop. And with that, the second strongest empire is now under Lathrixian control. Okay, can you please go there and actually discover where this goes? That'd be great. Everyone else, return home. We still need to attack that fallen empire because I do really want that reactor. Except for you, as mentioned. Explore, then return home. Almost rank 3 now. Well, this happens far too often and I hate it every time, but I'm afraid I will be cutting this into 2 separate videos. This has been insanely fun and I think it represents the early to mid game on a slightly over normal difficulty using the StarNet AI mod, and honestly, I've utterly loved it. The early game felt more difficult than the Grand Admiral normal AI, not because the enemy was cheating or anything like that, but because the enemy was a lot more aggressive and it knew what it was doing with the resources. Now, we are ending the mid-game, well, we are actually technically in the late game now, and I'm starting to see a few cracks. I'm starting to see, like, it's still a bit too easy to snowball if you have the good start. If you survive the mid-game, the end game is guaranteed. So, my current verdict is that you need the scaling difficulty, and then maybe set it to Grand Admiral or something like that. So at this point, the AI will be getting a serious boost. The main problem I'm seeing with the AI right now isn't it being dumb. The worlds seem fine. They just aren't teching up fast enough. A lot of their battleships and such are still using rank 1 of the large weapons, whereas now I'm using rank 2, and I have repeatables. Though, all that said, this is being skewed by one of the best starts I've ever had, a great mid-game, just the Empire is really powerful. The Reformers should be winning. I have no doubt about that. Not because of how well I played or anything, just things went insanely well, and for once, I am so happy I am the Barbaric Despoilers. Normally, I hate this Empire. This time, we have a god leading us, and apparently all things are ruined, which is utterly lovely. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. The next video should be out within about a week. However, a lot is currently happening in my real life. I am starting to sort out new apartments because I might have to move soon. Well, that is, I'm looking into new apartments. My stammer is currently bad, and I'm looking into therapy for that again, back to speech therapy. Not exactly something I'm enjoying, but I am going to have to start doing stuff like that. Just loads of other stuff is all going on, so it may be by the new year that the next episode is out, but hopefully a lot sooner. So, thank you so much for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully we'll be back very, very soon. Thank you, goodbye, do take care, and I'm off to have a lot of caffeine, or maybe a nap. Caffeine sounds less healthy, let's go with that. See? Can't talk.